I'm going to cover a quick little tutorial of the vlookup function because it's a very powerful tool within Excel, but it can be a little difficult to learn at first. Let's take a look at our data here before we get started. We have this little chart here that shows salespeople within our office, their sales revenue for the year, and then their year of hire. And down here further in the workbook, we have another little chart where we're trying to determine years of service for a given employee, in this case Jim. To help us with our math for determine years of service, which would be current year versus their year of hire, we've also listed the current year here, which is 2016. So very simply to find the years of service, we could easily say Jim started in 2003 and it's now 2016, so he's worked here for 13 years. However, that's easy because we have a very small original data set. If we have a large data set where Jim's name wouldn't be as easily to pull out, this would be the perfect instance to use the vlookup function. And what the vlookup function does is it looks up a given parameter and then outputs some other information about that parameter. So for instance, we're looking up Jim and we're going to output the year of hire. So let's get started. In the years of service cell, we're going to hit equals and then the current year less their year of hire. And we're going to find year of hire by using the vlookup function. So here's where the true tutorial begins. So let's start by writing vlookup and then open the parentheses to show us the dialog box of what we'll need to put in here. The first thing we need to include is the lookup value. In this instance, we're looking up Jim, so we'll click in the cell that contains that information and then we'll hit comma. Now we want to include the table array that we're going to be looking for the information. We're going to be looking for not only Jim's name but also year of hire, so we need to select the array that includes all of that information. And we do that by starting in the column with the information that we're looking up. So we're looking up a name, so we start with B, column B, and we're looking up year of hire, so we extend out to D in the bottom of the chart. And that's the array that we're going to be looking within. And then we hit comma again, and it asks us for column index number. And what column index number is asking for the number of column, or what column do you want to output. And in this instance, we want to output column 3, starting with 1 here, salesperson, that's the first column, second column, third column. We want year of hire to output, so we hit 3. Now in most instances, once you hit comma here, you could simply close the parentheses and your formula will react fine because the default is false, which is exact match. We want to find exactly Jim and we want to output exactly Jim's year of hire. In almost all cases, this is the reason you're using vlookup, so it's almost always going to be false, or you can leave it blank. And you're going to hit enter, and as expected, it's 13 years, 2016 minus 2003. Now really quickly, you already know how to use the vlookup function, but I wanted to give you one extra option here. We used the cell that contained Jim's name. That's not the only way you can look up Jim. You can also put in Jim's name in quotes, and that will look for the text that exactly matches Jim since we use false. But it's important to note, because we're looking for the exact match, if you mistype the name, it's going to produce a not applicable if you mistype his name. Likewise, if you spell the name correctly, but you forget a quote, Excel is going to prompt you that you must be missing something, and that's what they're doing here. And it says, do you want to put in that trailing quote? And we do. Click yes, and we get the correct answer again. So there's a simple tutorial on vlookup function. I hope this helps. Thanks a lot for watching.